Good day, you absolute legends, and welcome back to another edition of Update News. And we have some major breaking news right now because Mr. Murray over on Twitter has just released this. That is right, you are seeing the next emoji for the next major update to hit the No Man's Sky platform, which is absolutely incredible. So we're going to go over what we kind of know so far, what we think it's going to be, and when it's going to be possibly releasing. But before we do get into all that today, ladies and gentlemen, can I please just ask you, as always, just to double check for me that you are indeed still subscribed to the channel. If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe. Or if you have been watching me for a while, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? You definitely will not regret it. Anyways, we have a lot to cover today, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get right on into today's video. Okay, so first of all, let's look at this Twitter post. Now, for anybody who's new to the No Man's Sky game, or new to Hello Games the company, or even if you're asking yourself, who is Sean Murray? Now, Sean Murray is the owner, lead developer, and the brain box behind No Man's Sky. He's the guy who's made the game along with his team. So what he likes to do is whenever there is a major breaking update about to hit No Man's Sky, he likes to go on Twitter and just release a single emoji at first. Sometimes it can be other things as well, but we will get onto that in a little bit. Now, this is both a great tactic that is used for marketing purposes since ever, but it's also the most frustrating one for the No Man's Sky community, and I'll explain why. So, number one, it's great for marketing because, well, he doesn't have to go ahead and pay to advertise that a new update is coming out. It puts out an emoji, and the entire No Man's Sky community has a meltdown trying to figure out what the emoji represents. And it's really frustrating because it never tells us what the emoji represents until it's actually released. So it just leads to wild goose chases, speculation, and we will try and keep speculation as minimal as possible within today's video. But that's just a quick catch me up on what the emoji is and what it represents and who it is that's actually doing it. Now, as we know, it is the Born emoji, and you know, at the moment, there isn't anything else other than that. So the signs that we usually look out for is the emoji drops, then we'll look at sales. So for example, on Xbox, PlayStation, Mac, Steam, and even Nintendo as well, every single one of those platforms will go on sale at a 50 to 60% discount. Now, at the moment, at the time of this recording, we've only had the emoji, which means the update is imminent and is about to drop. So it could be today and or tomorrow at the latest when we will see the prices start to be slashed across the entire range on every single platform that No Man's Sky is currently being offered. Now, when that happens, we know then the drop is literally imminent. It could be within hours, up to 24 hours, but we still haven't seen that yet. Now, the size of the update as well is all determined on what Mr. Murray does next. Right now, we've got an emoji, which just basically means there is going to be an update, and it's going to be happening very, very, very soon. However, we are now looking out for a few different things. Will he post the emoji more than once? Sometimes he does 3 emojis in a row, which symbolizes it's a slightly bigger update than just a regular kind of like patch filler update, if you will. So we're waiting for that. If that happens, fantastic. Then we're waiting for the cowboy emoji. The cowboy emoji is what it symbolizes. It's an emoji with the emoji that is whatever it is that he's using. So in this case, it would be Bones in the shape of, well, a cowboy. That means it's an even bigger one. But the biggest updates reserved for No Man's Sky by far is the Gib emoji. It's the Hello Games Gib, and that is what we are waiting for. If the Gib emoji makes its appearance, then we know we are in for a major, major update release. Now, we've already had Worlds Part 2 this year, so it's going to be pretty hard to keep on beating Worlds Part 2. I mean, to me, Worlds Part 2 was the update for the year, even though at the beginning of the year, but it was just that big. So I don't know personally if we're going to see a Gib level emoji, a Gib level update this time around, but I think it's going to be a big update, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to bring in a new expedition. Now, with it being a Born emoji, now I've had a look on the comment sections and things like that. I've come up with a few theories, and this is now the speculation part, but we will keep this very, very brief. Now, I think personally It will have something to do with like new creatures, maybe something when you go and digging around planets, like archaeological. I can't even say that word. Where you go and dig bones and things like that. You know, maybe it's going to be something like that. So maybe it's a revamp to that system. Maybe so. Maybe you'll have different types of bones you can go and pick up, even though we already have that. But maybe it's been paid more attention to this time around. Bone creatures, you know, we've already had, for example, in the Light No Fire trailer, we have seen that they have skeleton archers as NPCs, as enemies inside that trailer. So we know that there is a bit of a crossover with No Man's Sky and Light No Fire, and they share the same engines, some of the same mechanics, and even some of the same assets. So could skeleton archers or some sort of NPC taken from the game of Light No Fire being brought in to No Man's Sky, and you know there's going to be a big expedition about it, around it, should I say. So who knows? So that's the leading kind of theories that I have at the moment. Let me know what you think theory wise, speculation wise, in the comment section down below. So yeah, we'll keep that very, very, very brief. Now let's talk about when this update very well could land. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the time of this recording, it is a Sunday morning, and usually updates will be released any time from Monday through to Wednesday. Sometimes it can get pushed on a Friday, but that's the sort of time frame. Now, with the emoji just being dropped on a Sunday, which is a little more on the unusual side, then it could go one or two ways. We'll either get it next week, or should I say in the new week, so we could get it from Monday to, let's say, at the latest Thursday onward, like between those dates, or we're going to see a price cut between those dates instead. We'll start seeing more emojis from Mr. Murray instead in between those time frames as well, to try and hype up even more the updates. And if that happens, we won't get it until the following week. So not next week, not the new week, not tomorrow onwards, but we'll get it the week after. But again, we are still waiting as well for the price drops to happen. We don't get an update until there's a price drop, and that's always been part and parcel. So when the price drops start happening, that's when it's going to be imminent. But if that happens, like I said, over the next few days, then it will be this week. If it doesn't, and it happens kind of like over the weekend, the next weekend, then we'll get it next week. That's usually the way it works. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to get on this straight away this morning so that you are fully in the loop and you have all the information handed to you. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, leave what you think in the comment section down below. And my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.